Have you ever lost a pet and felt like a piece of your soul went with them? Did you feel the crushing weight of that loss, only to have someone dismissively say, "It was just a dog," or "It was just a cat"? If you've experienced this, you know that the pain is anything but just a pet. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that affects millions but is rarely talked about: the profound impact of pet loss, specifically for our elderly population. We are going to explore a hidden phenomenon known as disenfranchised grief, and we are going to look at the fascinating and heartbreaking scientific reasons why losing an animal companion can physically hurt us. If you or a loved one are grieving a furry best friend, this video is for you. To truly understand the depth of this loss, we first have to understand the bond. For elderly individuals, pets are often much more than animals. They are steadfast companions, emotional substitutes for absent family members, and sometimes their only source of daily social interaction. After retirement, it is incredibly common for seniors to lose their sense of purpose. But a pet provides a reason to get up in the morning. Caring for an animal provides a structured routine, motivates self-care, and offers unconditional love that isn't contingent upon past mistakes or success. But it's not just about warm emotional feelings. There is hard science backing up the life-changing benefits of this bond. A recent study published in Scientific Reports found that older adults who own pets, particularly dogs or cats, actually experience significantly slower cognitive decline. Regular pet care routines and the physical activity required to keep a pet, like walking a dog, help preserve memory, reasoning, and mental flexibility. So, when that pet passes away, the senior isn't just losing a best friend. They are losing a vital component of their neurological health, their daily routine, and often their primary source of physical affection. Now let's get into the science of the heartbreak itself. Why does losing a pet hurt so much? Sometimes, the pain is so severe it feels exactly like a heart attack. And medically speaking, it almost is. The scientific reason behind this intense physical pain is a condition known as stress-induced cardiomyopathy, or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, which is commonly referred to as broken heart syndrome. When an older adult loses a beloved pet, they can experience a massive hormone rush, including a severe adrenaline surge. This sudden adrenaline surge directly interferes with the heart's pumping ability, sending it into a freeze mode and causing the left ventricle to become enlarged. The physical symptoms mimic a massive heart attack perfectly: severe chest pain, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, and cold sweats. While society often brushes off the death of a pet, the human body reacts with profound, measurable trauma. In fact, researchers have noted that within the first 24 hours of losing a significant loved one, which absolutely includes pets, the risk of a heart attack is 21 times higher. Psychologists also explain this intense mourning through the lens of attachment theory. Because the relationship with a pet provides the exact same psychological benefits as close human relationships, pets are fundamentally viewed as fictive kin or full members of the family. When that bond is suddenly ruptured, the grief response is a biologically hardwired stress reaction. Despite the proven medical and psychological trauma of losing a pet, society often fails to support the mourner. This brings us to a crucial psychological concept: disenfranchised grief. A disenfranchised loss is one that is not widely recognized, validated, or supported by society. When a human family member dies, there are universally recognized rituals to help us cope. Funerals, bereavement leave from work, and an outpouring of community support. But when a pet dies, you generally cannot take bereavement leave, and there is no standard cultural ritual for mourning. Because society lacks understanding, the grieving person's pain is minimized, invalidated, and forced underground. For seniors, this lack of social recognition is especially devastating. They may feel deeply ashamed of their tears or feel silly for mourning an animal so intensely. Many try to control or hide their emotions because of the social stigma of overreacting. This lack of validation actively compounds their grief, making them feel isolated and completely alone, just when they need community support the most. There's another complex layer that makes this so incredibly difficult for older adults: guilt. In many cases, pet owners must make the agonizing final decision to euthanize their suffering companion. For a highly attached senior, the strong sense of care they've provided for years suddenly transforms into a deeply distressing feeling of responsibility grief. They may feel profound guilt, second-guessing if they made the decision at the right time, or feeling terrible if a fixed income and financial constraints forced their hand. Additionally, an elderly person's pet might have been their very last living link to a deceased spouse, or a bygone era of their life. The death of that animal can act as an emotional trigger, bringing all that past grief and trauma rushing right back to the surface. When you combine this responsibility guilt, the triggering of past losses, and the intense isolation of disenfranchised grief, the emotional toll on a senior is staggering. So how can we step up and help the elderly navigate this heartbreaking transition? If you know an older adult who has recently lost a pet, there are practical, compassionate strategies you can implement right now. First, be a dedicated, non-judgmental listener. Seniors may not be as open with their feelings as younger generations, but they desperately need a safe space to talk about their pet. Let them share their memories and express their guilt without offering unsolicited advice or telling them it's time to move on. Second, be incredibly mindful of their daily routine. A pet often provides the foundational structure for a senior's day. Without the dog to walk or the cat to feed, they might stop eating regularly or neglect taking their own medications. Gently assist them with practical tasks like grocery shopping, meal prep, or household chores to ease their heavy burden. Third, help them find professional support. Because pet loss is a disenfranchised grief, connecting them with people who do understand is vital. Suggest professional pet loss support groups, or look into certified pet loss grief coaches who specialize in guiding people through this unique pain. Finally, never rush them to get a replacement pet. While a new animal can bring immense joy, adopting a pet involves serious financial, physical, and housing considerations that an elderly person must weigh carefully. Allow them to heal on their own timeline, and perhaps suggest fostering when they feel ready. The loss of a pet is a profound heartbreak that leaves a very real physical and emotional scar. It is time we start recognizing it, validating it, and supporting each other through it. If you've lost a special animal companion, please share their name and a favorite memory in the comments below. We would be honored to remember them with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on mental health and emotional wellness. Take care of yourself and each other.